The MLB Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is presented by WinBet. Bet $50 at WinBet and get $200 in free bets. Bet big, win bigger with WinBet. Head over to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/WinBet. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/WYNNBET to claim your free bets today. And we're also brought to you by IP Vanish. IP Vanish is the official VPN of SGPN, and they're offering 70% off if you go to ipvanish.com/SGP. That's ipvanish.com/SGP. And make sure to check our new Discord server, the perfect place to interact and sweat bets with the entire SGPN crew. Just go to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/Discord. Welcome, everybody, to the MLB Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. My name is Malcolm Bamford. I'm coming to you from Newcastle upon Tyne in the northeast of England. Today is Friday, July 22, and we are here to handicap a full slate of games, MLB, for Saturday, July the 23rd. And joining me to take us through all the games is Mr. Noah Bennick in an incredible shirt. Noah, good evening. How are you doing?
How are we doing, Malcolm? Yeah, I have a little bit of FOMO. There's a huge country concert going on in Michigan. It's a 3-dayer throughout the whole weekend. It's called Faster Horses. Normally, nice. I would like to go, but this year it just wasn't in the schedule. I got some plans this weekend, but yeah, I'm in festive mood. But I might not have had the best apparel today. You put on, or not you, the podcast posted a picture. Are you some kind of movie star? Do you have a profile picture on Twitter, a new one in the future here?
I haven't updated it. I'll tell you the story briefly. It was quite funny. My sister sent me a little email during the week saying there's a big TV show that's set in the northeast here, and it's called Vera, and it's a big detective crime thing, and it's a bit of a mad old lady who goes out solving crimes. Bit of a Columbo thing, like the northeast English version of Columbo. But they were looking for golfers. They needed golfers during the week, so people who had golf clothes and golf bags. So I got all my stuff together and
the film during the open.
Yeah, exactly. But they didn't need me. I was too late. Forgot all about it. This morning, I got an emergency phone call at 9 a.m. saying, right, can you get a place 20 minutes down the road? We need a policeman. So I just said yes, because I say yes to everything. So an hour later, there I was, full police regalia with my truncheon and my taser and my pepper spray. So I've been playing policeman all day. So yeah, and they paid me a few quid, and I got a free lunch. So I've had a fun all day. Yeah, so I'm quite a big deal now, Noah. So just be careful.
That's awesome. When do you know when it's gonna air?
I don't know actually.
I can see you on TV. Is this some kind of like international? Is it only going to be on British television?
Well, it's on BBC, so I think you can either get it on the website or. Normally you get the BBC over there, don't you?
There's too many BBC over here.
Oh, whoa. Whoa there. The British Broadcasting Corporation.
No.
So yeah, if you get that channel, that television station, when it's on, I might try.
Know that was a television station.
What? It's the biggest. It's the OG global television station. It's the station that all of the stations aspire to be. It's a paragon of honesty and truth and virtue and British values. Noah, come on, honestly.
But the only TV stations I need to know are ESPN, Fox Sports, MLB Network, all those stuff. Do you know what BBC stand for? Like, is it like ESPN? Is it?
I've just told you it's the British Broadcasting Corporation. Okay. I mean, it's A1. I don't muck about. No, I'm not going on a no cable TV, no community television station for me. I mean, I've gone straight to the top. I'm straight in.
So the British, you have your headshots, and you're ready to be called for more assignments here.
Absolutely have, yeah. I got lots done today. The makeup lady.
Podcast Network's Malcolm Bamford. He's the new star of the show.
The makeup lady said my hair was like a bird's nest and had to spend ages doing that. So that was a nice compliment.
So is your name going to pop up in the credits after the show, like cameo from the Sports Gambling Podcast Network?
I very much doubt it. No, what I had to do was sit in the back of the canteen and pretend to eat my lunch for the entire duration of my stay there. That was it. That was my job. pretend to eat my lunch. So there you go.
You
So
don't have
yeah,
to throw Foxy into the clink.
it was a fun day. Yeah, Foxy's going right in the slammer when I get my hands on him. So. But yeah, a little adventure. I like to get myself in some little scrapes and see what I can see. So that was a new one today. But yeah, you never know. I didn't know you were a country music guy. No, getting back to that because I'm a bit of a closet country fan.
Yeah, I'm actually a huge country fan. I used to write about country music. I had like a blog for a little while during the pandemic. So yeah, big country music fan. But this is the calling.
Yeah, excellent. Well, this is exactly the type of conversation we should have had off air before we started. But anyway, that was nice for everyone for everyone to endure me and you catching up for 6 minutes. Anyway, how's your mum? Right, we'll leave the family chat. Right, baseball. Let's get to it. We're getting back into it's the first full slate. We had a little taster session last night. We had 5 games, I think. Did okay. I landed 5 and 2 of my picks. Over on Tally site. Locks hit. I think there was some dogs hit. So we did well between us. So we've eased our way back in, but now we have to go full tilt. Did you get a winner?
No, I went 0-2, 1-2 on my bets for yesterday. I stayed up till 2 in the morning watching that Giants Dodgers game.
It was it looked exciting.
3-run home run. Darren Ruff had a grand slam. That was fun.
Yep. Yeah, Mookie Betts sealed it himself for the home run, then the sliding catch at the end. So back into it with it. He's absolutely outstanding. We're starting off tomorrow. There's a double header which we've got no lines for. We've got 3 of the 4 pitches, but I think the order in which they're going to go is TBD. So not entirely sure what's going on. The 1:10 Eastern first pitch, and then a 7:15 for the second game. It's the Cleveland Guardians and the Chicago White Sox. For one game, I've got Tristan McKenzie against Johnny Cueto. Second game, I've got Lance Lynn for the White Sox and no Guardians pitcher. So I'm happy to gloss over that with nothing else. And there's plenty of stuff that we can get to. Noah, before we move on to the main slate, is there anything you want to tell us about this doubleheader?
The thing I will say is like the reason why we don't have odds on at least one of these games is I think that McKenzie could start game 2. A lot of times they don't like those rookies coming up from the farm and having to wait through a whole game. They like to just get the jitters out of the way in the first one in the afternoon.
Yeah.
But what I will say is I definitely like the White Sox against the kid, whoever they bring up. I think this is a series that the White Sox desperately need, although they have not performed well against the Guardians this year.
Okay, next up then, we're doing these games chronologically, even though I completely hamstrung you by giving you the games we were going to cover in a random order. So yeah, that was just a little bit of an initiative test for you there, Noah. I'm going to start at 4:10 Eastern between the Houston Astros and the Seattle Mariners, which is Justin Verlander against Logan Gilbert. Probably the pitching matchup of the night, this one, that we're going to first. Houston are minus 140. Seattle plus 120. Total error is set at 7. And this is across to you, Noah, for Houston and Seattle.
Yeah, I would qualify this one as, appointment television. This is like the first one of the day. There's also a night one, I guess, because I'm actually surprised that these two West Coast, or not really West Coast for Houston, but Seattle is playing this game at 1 o'clock their time when they could be at night. But, this is going to be a great matchup between Verlander and Logan Gilbert. My number one rule and law and whatever else commandment, whatever else you want to say about it, when betting baseball for me, personally, I can't bet against my guy JV. But I'll take a deeper dive into this game for the listeners because this one's going to be a good one. Seattle, they have Logan Gilbert going. He's 10-3 on the year with a 2.76 ERA, 104 strikeouts, 29 walks, and 111 innings pitched. In 2 starts this year against the Astros on the road, he gave up three runs in only 3 runs on 7 hits in 6 innings. And then at home, he didn't surrender a single run. He threw a 7-inning shut piece with 5 strikeouts for a W. So now to Verlander. Verlander is 12-3 on the year with a 1.89 ERA, 108 strikeouts, 19 walks, and 109.1 innings. Since he was traded to the Astros in 2017, JV, he is 9-2 in 13 starts against the M's. You want a smaller sample size? Well, Verlander's bumped against the Mariners in four times this year already. He has a 3.25 ERA with a 3-1 record. So I'm taking the Stros all day, baby. Well, Malcolm, are you with me on this one?
You've seen JV a couple of times then. I don't know if I've told this before, my little admission about the term JV. My very first season watching baseball, about 7 or 8 years ago, I joined a fantasy league, and in the chat box, everyone was talking about JV. And I had drafted and had on my roster, I believe his name was Jason Vargas, the New York Met. Was he on the Mets? Like the Mets SP5. And I just assumed that's who everyone was talking about. So I was sending out sort of premium trades, trying to trade my JV for all the top players in the game, not realising it was actually kind of the Mets' fifth starter. So the other one that did exactly the same with Dixon Machado. He used to play for the Tigers, didn't he? Yeah, because everyone was talking about Machado, and I thought I had the bee's knees as well. I didn't. I had Dixon Machado, and now sort of bats number 9 in the Japanese league, I think.
He was a speedster, had a cup of coffee.
So I've progressed a little bit. I progressed well enough to know here that Houston Astros, I think, are just a little bit too good. Well, in fact, JV's a bit too good. And I know the Astros didn't score that many runs last night, but I liked their at-bats. Jordan Alvarez came up and he pinched it in. The double headers. They put up 10 over the 2 games, which I suppose is above average. He pinched it in the first game and was intentionally walked in the 9th. Came up in first at bat. The second game hit a bomb. His second at bat he hit a 3 RBI double or a 2 RBI double. And then Bregman followed him up. They went back to back. And Houston just looked kind of like they were in the zone. So Houston here at -142. The under was appealing, but a little bit low. I just thought Houston could get to Gilbert more than Seattle can get to Verlander. So, yeah, pretty straightforward, this one. So I will take your man, Justin Verlander.
Seattle has tagged Verlander once this year, and it was in Seattle. They put up 9 runs on Verlander, or no, 6 runs on Verlander. He had a 9 ERA in the game. That's what I was thinking of. But, yeah, I agree with you. Verlander does not have many of those, and I think Gilbert is due for one of them, maybe.
Yeah, it could be a 4-1, a 3-1, 4-1 sort of game, something like that. Another top pitcher going in the 4:10 Eastern time slot. The game is the Toronto Blue Jays and the Boston Red Sox, and it's Alek Manoah going for Toronto, and Cutter Crawford is on the hill for Boston. Toronto are -130. Boston are +110. Alex Manoah is 10-4, has a 2.28 ERA. Has pitched 114 2/3 with 103 strikeouts. Crawford is 2-2 with a 4.50 ERA, 36 innings pitched and 44 strikeouts. Alek Manoah coming off a fun time at the All-Star game. He impressed a lot of people. Certainly raised his profile as well. He's quite a character. He has a 2.89 ERA in his last 5. He's pitched 14 innings against Boston this year. He's only given up 2 earned runs. 2.43 road ERA, 1.66 ERA against the AL East. It was just ticks in boxes all the way along. Couldn't find a chink in the armour of Alek Manoah there at all. Crawford's actually had a couple of decent starts since he came back into the rotation as well. He has a 2.84 ERA in his last 5. Trevor Story's gone to the IL for Boston, which will weaken them ever so slightly. And I thought Toronto were just about playable. In fact, I think they're more than playable now. I had them written down at -150, which we often give out as a unit and a half play. I'm seeing them now at -130. So,
love it.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll take Manoah at that price all day long, really, in a lineup where it's hard to split. So you just take the better pitcher, and he's a very good price, Noah.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. And Toronto, they're 7-2 in their last 9 against Boston. So everything that you said, and just add that last trend there.
Excellent. Next is a 6:05 Eastern first pitch between the Chicago Cubs and the Philadelphia Phillies. Marcus Stroman is on the hill for the Cubs, and Zach Wheeler goes for the Phillies. The Cubs are +140. The Phillies are -165. The total here is set at 8. And this one is coming to you, Noah.
Yeah. Like I said, I'm taking out most of those trends that I like to play, like just like in their last 10 games and so. The break, everybody, it's a clean slate, except if they played each other already this year. Chicago, they're 2-9 straight up in their last 11 games versus the Phillies. That extends back to last year. But they had a better team than last year, so I'm going to keep that trend. Marcus Stroman, he's 2-5 this year with a 4.69 ERA, 54 strikeouts, 15 walks, and 55.2 innings pitched. His home ERA is at 8.11, but he's on the road today where he has a 2.45 ERA. Zach Wheeler, he's got an 8-5 record this year, 2.89 ERA, 108 strikeouts, 22 walks, and 99.2 innings pitched. Wheeler, he's coming off his worst start of the year, giving up 6 runs at Toronto, but at home, Wheeler has been outstanding with a 1.65 ERA. The line is sitting right about 150, so it's a bit juicy, but that's my only play for this game. If you like it, go ahead. Like we said earlier in the other game, that's like a standard 1.5 unit play for a full unit back.
Yeah, it's got no minus 165 now. Actually, for all the reasons you've just pointed out, I've got the Philly run line written down here, which was up earlier on at plus 150. Now, that's not going to be plus 150 anymore, is it? With that line sitting at 165 now? No, I didn't think so. So yeah, it's a bit of a head scratch. I don't know what to do. We'll have to see if there's any line movement in the morning. But I do think the Phillies can cover as well. I'm way out on the Cubs at the minute. I think they really could fall apart a little bit in the second half of the season. So we'll see what the lines say. The total looks about right. So I didn't have a side on that one with the total debate. So
I'm just hoping that Seiya Suzuki can save face, maybe compete for NL Rookie of the Year, because there really isn't anybody that's running away with the NL like Julio is with the AL right now. So there you go.
Yeah, something to root for there for Cubs fans and bettors of Seiya. 6:10 Eastern first pitch is the Minnesota Twins at the Detroit Tigers. Minnesota have Joe Ryan on the hill, and Michael Pineda goes for the Tigers. Only got money lines here. Minnesota minus 155, Detroit at plus 132. Ryan is 6-3, 2.99 ERA. Has pitched 75 and a third with 66 strikeouts. Pineda is 2-5 with a 5.22 ERA, 39 and 2/3 pitched and 20 strikeouts. Ryan's been fine, absolutely great. He has a 2.90 road ERA, which is a positive, and against AL East teams, his record is 4-0 with a 1.82 ERA. So yeah, a couple of really strong pointers there towards Joe Ryan, putting up a good performance here. Pineda, 7.23 ERA in his last 5. He has to be better at home. I'll give him that. But I just like Ryan a hell of a lot more. I'm still not in on the Detroit Tigers lineup. They put a few runs up last night in one of the games against Oakland and then was shut out, I think, in the other one. I got the Minnesota run line here, which I jotted down earlier on it, plus 105, which is about right. Probably a similar price to what that Philly one will come out as, actually, as the prices are similar. So I think Minnesota can do this quite comfortably, Noah.
I'm on the other side. I like Detroit.
Oh, no.
Pineda pitches better at home. He's got a 3.07 ERA. He's got a 10 ERA on the road. But Pineda, he's a guy that I think has been under the radar for some of the year. I've been backing him like here and there. This is a Tigers team that plays better in Comerica Park as well. And we're looking at a revenge spot for Pineda. Used to be on the Twins, used to be on the Yankees, a little bit of a journeyman for him. A couple of revenge spots on the card today. I like this for Pineda and the Tigers. Maybe, I wouldn't even be nervous of a full game money line on the Tigers because our bullpen's very, very good. We're top 5, top 10 bullpen in the MLB.
Yeah, I think Soto's been going along quite steady in that pen, hasn't he? I've seen some.
He's a heart attack guy. He's a good he's been a good closer, but he gives you a heart attack. I would love him to be traded. I think his value is super high right now, but I would do much better without a heart attack in the 9th inning.
Just a live update here. My wife's just jumped in the car and driven off, and it's about 11:15 at night. So it's possible she's just left me live on the podcast. So I'll update you as to how that works out for the rest of the evening.
So she's getting you back for going out to Vegas in September, right?
Yeah. She'll be back in a week. I'll check for a passport in a minute. Next up is a 6:40 Eastern first pitch between the St. Louis Cardinals and the Cincinnati Reds. Steven Matz goes for the Cardinals, and Mike Minor goes for the Reds. Two left-handed pitchers here. St. Louis are minus 154. Cincinnati are plus 130. Totally ever set at 10. Steven Matz is 3-3, has a 6.03 ERA, has pitched 37 1/3 with 44 strikeouts. Minor is 1-6 with a 6.21 ERA, 42 innings and 38 strikeouts. Matz is back from the IL tomorrow. He went 22nd of May. He's been out since. He was struggling before that. We've been giving up a lot of runs. Mike Minor's had a couple of decent starts in his last 5, but his numbers really aren't lying. I mean, you've got 2 pitchers here with an ERA of over 6, and not tiny sample sizes either. For me, this was a coin flip on who can be less bad. And it did look like a coin flip as well. So if you're getting a coin flip with one team at plus 130, I thought the Cincinnati at home were a live dog here. I thought the over 10 was in danger as well at minus 110. So if you don't want to take the underdog with the Reds, you can play both sides to score some runs and take the over at 10. But yeah, they were my leans. What do you think, Noah?
So what if I told you that the Reds, they're the 6th worst team in the MLB when it comes to OPS with a 711 OPS? The Cardinals, they've been great all year against left-handed pitching. They're slumping a little bit. They've got a 764 OPS. It was up in the 780s earlier this year. This is a team that I've been backing a lot up against left-handed pitching, and I think that they get this win. And I would be considering like a first 5-run line as well.
So opposite sides of that one, I like it. Next is a 7:05 Eastern first pitch between the Miami Marlins and the Pittsburgh Pirates. Max Meyer is the pitcher for the Miami Marlins, and it is Jose Quintana going for the Pirates. Pick him. Miami minus 110, Pittsburgh minus 110. Total here set at 8.5. Chuck this across to you, Noah. I mean, Miami are going to have to score a run before they do anything else, and pick him for a runless team with a pitcher you've never heard of. Tell me you're taking Pittsburgh.
Oh, I've heard of Meyer, though. I'm excited about Meyer. First off, I'll just say this to Dylan. I was right on yesterday's podcast. We had a Zach Thompson start. He said Quintana's going today. I got a little bit of a leg up there. Plus, it's my team. Come on, Dylan. Come on. I'll leave you with the Mets. Come on, Dylan. But yeah, I'm excited for Max Meyer. I wanted to grab him in free agency the night of his MLB debut, but I fell asleep before 3 a.m. I know you probably have the best advantage when it comes to free agency over there in the Eastern Hemisphere with the 3 a.m. free agency window. But after a rough start in his first game against the Phillies, he's getting a much weaker offense here in the Pirates. He gave up 5 earned and 5.1 to the Phillies. And for Pittsburgh, Jose Quintana, he's actually been going all right. He's got a 2-5 record, but he's got a 3.79 ERA, 81 strikeouts, 29 walks, and 90.1 innings pitched this year. There's only a few days until the trade deadline, and Quintana is trying to be a hot commodity come that time. I like the under in this game, and I slightly lean the Marlins to win just because they're due. They're due, Malcolm. Come on.
Yeah, they are. Well, okay. I would just have to see it first. I'm actually just frantically hunting around on the MLB gambling, the sports gambling podcast website, because I wrote a MLB rookie report 3 months ago. I've got it in front of me now. I think he might have been, yeah. Hang on. I mean, again, this is great. Great stuff for the listeners to get involved with me scrolling down. Bryson Stott, Riley Green. Right, I can't find Max Meyer at all. I definitely wrote some stuff about Max Meyer. Honestly, I've got Edward Cabrera on there, so maybe he was the Miami pitcher that I ended up looking at rather than Max Meyer. But yeah, me and Moon have did really well last year, taking a lot of these rookie pitchers. Yeah, because they're potentially good, or And B, there was, especially at that time, sort of last year and the year before, there was no tape on them from either the minor leagues or the alternate side, whatever. So that's changed a little bit here. But I was quite flippant at the start when I said it's a pitcher you've never heard of, because that's just not true at all. However, Pittsburgh, I mean, I still have to keep leaning with them because of how kind they've been to me, how good Quintana's been as well. Or good might not be the wrong word, but he's certainly overachieved on his expectations, and he's holding it together. Maybe a better way of putting it, rather than he's been good. And like I say, Pittsburgh have been more than feisty. Miami can't score a run, and there are reasons for that as well. Like I say, John Bertie's missing, Jazz Chisholm, and I was expecting him back, and I saw an article today, and he might be out for another 6 weeks.
6 weeks. I heard
yes.
End of July with the back spasms. There was a new article that came out today.
Something else, a knee or something, I think.
Really?
Yeah, might have been like even a stress fracture of something. Another 6. I only saw that today because I've stashed them in a few places. So I was considering whether it was time to get rid. So that is going to hurt them. The two of them more dynamic players. We all know what Bertie's been doing. So I was happy to take Pittsburgh in this spot for a couple of reasons. A minus 110 seemed like a reasonable price.
I have Jazz in our D-Gen league, so that blows.
That does blow for you.
I mention all the time the OPS stat against lefties, and of course, it's on base plus slugging. It's a huge, like, if you don't want to dive into like advanced stats, that one's just on the tip of the iceberg of what can create runs. You get on base, you hit a homer. That's the old man's analytics. The Marlins have a 602 OPS, ranking 30th against left-handed pitching. So they are due. I lean Marlins to win this game, but if you want to just go on stats from this year, it is not very good.
Somebody explained OPS to me as, now you might have heard this before, or I might be way off the mark. It's a measurement of how far towards first base that you get with every at bat. So you just said what they've got is 602 OPS, the Marlins. Yeah. So for every at bat, they're effectively getting 60% of the way towards first base. So does that make sense? Can you see where that would?
Kind of. It's just on base plus slugging percentage. So
yeah, but again, to picture it, someone with a 1,020 OPS, so they're equivalent to getting round first and partially the way to second every at bat, So it does equate to that kind of measurement, which is quite a pictorial thing. You can, with a little bit of imagery, you can see where that's coming from. So
I've never been told that. I like that.
Yeah. Well, it equates the same, mate. All of these lines, the place to find them. Oh, hang on, live update. The wife's returned. She's either changed her mind or possibly just went to the shop.
Chocolate for the kids.
They've got to bed, mate. It's 11 p.m. Win bet. You could have got minus 200 about Laura returning. So you've got your money if you took the minus 200 because she's back.
She went and placed you a Cardinals over ticket. That's what she did.
Yeah, that must be it. Something like that. The win bet, $50 to get $200 promotion. Is the place to do it, where a $50 bet qualifies you for up to $200 in free bets. If you're betting baseball, check out the win bet with their reduced juice as well. You're getting extra points shaved off both sides, so what's not to like about that? It's the best place to bet MLB. And the Fantasy Football Experience contest is still running as well. If you bet $500 on Sports or Casino before July the 31st, you'll be entered to win the ultimate fantasy football draft experience at Encore Beach Club, which includes a 2-night stay at Wynn Resorts for you and your entire league. Multiple entries are allowed. Loads to choose from. Head over to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/winbet. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/WYNNBET to claim your free bets today. Offer subject to change. T's and C's at winbet.com. Must be 21 or older and present in the state where playthrough WinBet is available. If you or someone who knows a gambling problem, call 1-800-522-5700. Next up is, I am in danger of doing the classic forgetting about the Mets at the top of the page, but they're in 2 games time, 7:05 Eastern.
Insano I think he did this out of spite. He dropped Pineda in our fantasy league just now. He's
trying to see. Yeah,
I got a notification.
He's baited the hook there with a big fat juicy worm for you to take. What you want to pick up him, Jason Vargas, Dixon Machado, mate. You can't lose the second half.
Hey,
You'll be
that's
absolutely
like
fine.
that whole trend on Twitter where guys can just name random actors.
Yeah, I always remember those two. It's how far I've come playing fantasy from thinking that those two were
Mine's
absolute
always
studs.
Cleet Thomas. Dude,
Cleet.
first name Cleet.
Great name. Never heard of our friend Cleet. Yankees v Orioles is the game here at 7:05. Garrett Cole goes for the New York Yankees, and Jordan Lyles is on the hill for the Orioles. The Yankees are a prohibitive -245. Baltimore a shade over 2-1 at +205. Totally error set at 8. And across to you for this one, Dylan. Baltimore, best. Oh, Christ. Well, 31 minutes, mate. That's not a bad. That's a personal best. Noah, Baltimore, best team in baseball. They're going to keep rolling.
Yeah, I mean, so the best team in baseball, I guess, for record-wise, the Yankees. They have Garrett Cole on the mound. He's 9-2 with a 3.02 ERA, 147 strikeouts, 30 walks, and 113.1 innings pitched. He's worse on the road with a 4.36 ERA than he is at home. Jordan Lyles going for the best team in baseball, the Baltimore Orioles. He's 6-8 on the year with a 4.76 ERA, 91 strikeouts, 34 walks, and 107.2 innings pitched. He's better at home with a 2.77 ERA. The Yankees may be better than the Orioles on 9 out of 10 days, but not tonight. Tonight, it's the Orioles' time. The Yankees' time, it's done. Now, go out there and take it, Baltimore. I just quoted Herb Brooks, movie star Malcolm. Do you know where that's from?
Absolutely not.
Oh, come on. That's the miracle when USA beat the Soviet.
Oh, okay. I know about that game. I've watched about 5 movies in my entire life. We can have this conversation on another podcast. But I have just, I think you know me.
Guy either.
You know me well enough to know how good I am at concentrating on stuff. I'm just a bit of an idiot, so I just can't watch it without annoying the hell out of everybody else or my mind wandering off or something. So, yeah, I'm not a big movie guy in the slightest. However, on this one, I completely agree with you. The eye test, a couple of times I've watched Garrett Cole against Baltimore. We've had a lot of loud outs. It might have been the first time he faced them this season. And he went down 1-2-3 in the first inning, but they were all catches on the warning track. Baltimore know how to make contact against Garrett Cole. He's played them twice this season, given up 7 earned runs in 15 innings. That'll get it done tomorrow. Baltimore +205 are absolutely live and kicking in this one. So I'll take the dog. Okay, here I go. Back to the top of the page. 7:10 Eastern first pitch. The San Diego Padres at the New York Mets. Blake Snell, the lefty, goes for the Padres, and Chris Bassett goes for the New York Mets. The Padres are +122. The Mets here are -145. Total set at 7.5, and across the Noah for the Padres at the Mets.
Yeah, Blake Snell 1-5 this year, 5.22 ERA, 66 strikeouts, 31 walks in 50 innings pitched. He got blasted against the Rockies and Coors' last start.
He did, yeah. That was funny.
Yeah. And what did we tell you in that pod? Or at least me. I think Munov did too. If you see walk prop on Snell at 1.5, you're taking the over. If it is bettable at all, if it is -175 or lower, you are taking the over 1.5 because in 9 starts this year, he's cashed it all 9 times with at least 2 walks. This guy is just an automatic walk machine this year. It was -115 and I locked it up, and 6 walks against Colorado last start in Coors. For the Mets, Chris Bassett, he's 7-6, 3.71 ERA, 104 strikeouts, 28 walks, and 102 innings pitched. He's got 28 walks and 102 innings pitched. He's got less walks in double the innings that Snell has. He has a 3.19 home ERA. He pitches better at home than on the road. This is a pure fade against Snell. Give you the Mets money line. Give you the Mets first 5.
K props are quite the hot topic of discussion in the Discord channel over there at sportsgamblingpodcast.com/Discord. They are trending, is the way it would be put on Twitter. Everyone's talking about the K-pops in there. I think a lot of this as well has come from you being so hot, Noah. You've been on fire with these K-pops the last couple of weeks, haven't you?
That and the new fad in betting is ladder plays. And like I didn't even know this. Yeah, exactly. Like ladder plays. So Patrick Backus in my DMs yesterday, he's like, yeah, just ladder. We're laddering Shohei, right? And then I was like, what's a ladder? So I looked it up, and a ladder play is when you take the original prop that's offered to you. And I was actually talking to this with Johnny Junta in my DMs today too.
Yeah.
And Shohei Ohtani is the perfect example. He's going up against the Braves on Friday. His last 4 starts, 12 strikeouts, 11 strikeouts, 10 strikeouts, 10 strikeouts. His prop is set at 7.5, and it's minus 165. Yeah. So you take that prop and you split up a unit into 3 parts, let's say.
Yeah.
So the best example that I can use is $30 for a unit. Everybody's unit size is different. We don't have to get into units, but say it's a $30 unit. You're going to put $12 on the original line. That's minus 165. That's juiced like crazy. He cashes the 7.5. But with a guy like Shohei, if you're cashing 7.5, he's actually throwing like 10 strikeouts. There's no way that he's only throwing like 8. So then you take the 8.5 that's offered, and you put the $10 on that, and then you put the $10 on that. I think I screwed that up. It's $12 on the 7.5, $10 on the 8.5, and you go to 9.5, and you put the $8 there.
Yeah.
So I think I butchered that explanation, but I think
I think you're right.
Okay.
So I've never heard the term ladder play, but I would do that on the football over here on the soccer. So in Manchester City, you're playing Watford or someone crap. You could back them to score over 2.5 goals. But I'll always split my stakes over 2.5, over 3.5, over 4.5, because you can hit the jackpot if they, like you say, if they beat them 5 or 6-0, rather than just cover, which is often what they're going to do. So it's a perfectly valid system. And I'm a big fan of that. So I use it in soccer all the time, and it's something I've never used in baseball, but I'm sure it's going to be something that the Discord will keep talking about, and we'll keep a track of the success of that. This game for me, did you make your pick there, by the way, Padres Mets?
It's just a flat out fade of Snell. Give me the money line and the run line, and we got into the props rabbit hole.
Okay. I had this written down earlier on as the Mets at minus 130. Just looked like a great price, better pitcher, better team. Pretty straightforward. Sometimes I normally get 3 or 4 of those a night, and this looks like one of them. Shifted to minus 145, but shrug your shoulders. What you're going to do? It's good enough for me.
Money's money.
So pretty straightforward play on that one. Okay, we can move back down the board out the top left-hand corner and go to a 7:10 Eastern first pitch. Nothing much we can tell you about this one. This is the only... We haven't got many TBD pitches on the slate tonight, but the Tampa Bay Rays have one for us here. They take on the Kansas City Royals, for whom Brady Singer will be on the mound. But no lines, no Tampa Bay pitcher. Singer is 4-3 with a 4.02 ERA. Has pitched 71 2/3 with 69 strikeouts. He's going along nicely. His ERA is coming down, 3.73 in his last 5. I've watched him a couple of times. He's got me over the line. He's cashed a couple of bets for me recently. He's 3-2 in his last 5 home starts. So I give him a live chance. But apart from that, I've got no players. What with being no lines and no Tampa pitcher. Have you got anything?
There's no lines out right now. Sorry, I cut you off. My Wi-Fi.
Okay.
Like 3 seconds behind. But there's no lines out right now. But this is a day. I don't know why it's still TBD. He should be rested after only throwing 1 inning on Tuesday in the All-Star game. This should be Shane McClanahan's bump day.
Okay. I don't know if McClanahan's listed any other. I'm just having a look now.
I don't see him listed on any of the sources that we use, but McClanahan.
No, because I think they're going to activate Jeffrey Springs on Sunday. Yes. Because Jeffrey Springs has been on the IL, and he's going to be activated on Sunday, leaving that door open. For McClanahan really has to go tomorrow. So
it's got to be McClanahan, or else you're going to throw McClanahan Monday and Kluber tomorrow.
Yeah. We'll see how that pans out. Next up, 7:10 Eastern. First pitch is the Colorado Rockies and the Milwaukee Brewers. Colorado was TBD, but we've recently had confirmation, I believe, that it's going to be Jose Urena going for the Rockies, and Brandon Woodruff will go for the Brewers. Late call on this pitcher, so I don't think there's any lines up.
Yeah, this one came out.
Oh, no, I do have. Yeah, sorry, I do have lines now. Colorado plus 215. The Brewers are minus 255. Totally are at 7.5. And I think, you quite like your man Urena.
No, he's not really my man, but I think there's a fighting chance that the Rockies could maybe steal one on the road here. They don't play well on the road. Their bats don't really show up, and you have Woodruff on the other mound, so it's like everything's pointing the Brewers' way, like you would say. Like you have all these signs giving you Brewers. The Rockies, they're 0-5 in the last 5 games against the Brewers, and you know what? They just haven't been hitting. Woodruff, he's 7-3 with a 3.93 ERA, 84 strikeouts, 21 walks, and 66.1 innings pitched this year. And he has a 2.37 ERA since returning from injury off of the IL. Urena, though, he's 1-1 in 3 starts in 2022 with 3 quality starts. He has a 2.05 ERA, 12 strikeouts, 13 walks. He's got more walks than strikeouts, which isn't a good sign. 26.1 innings pitched this year. This is one of those revenge spots that I was talking about. He started the year in 2022 as a Brewers reliever. He actually didn't do too bad. They just had to DFA him because they didn't have a roster spot available for one of their guys coming off the IL. So they kissed Urena goodbye, one of their front end relief pitchers, and he took a little bit of time off, and then the Rockies signed him, and he's been great. So I think plus 215. This is a live dog.
So I thought the exact opposite. I've got the Brewers run line here. Couldn't be at the further away at the other end of the spectrum here. Yeah, Urena's bang average. I don't actually mind him. I think he's quite a fun guy to follow for a couple of reasons. But I think it's about time he gets found out. Now, we know I've been down on the Brewers bats, but again, this has got the look of a 4 or 5-0 game. A little bit like when I watched Oakland beat Detroit in the second half of that doubleheader last night. So, yeah, I just think even if Urena goes okay, Colorado aren't going to score any runs, and I think eventually the Brewers will be able to take this down. It'll be relatively close, but I think they can get it done. At minus 130, I thought that was a reasonable bet. 7.15 Eastern. Yeah. So it's 7.5. Yeah, I like the under. Like I say, it's got maybe a 4-1 vibe, 5-1, something like that. So yeah, I wouldn't mind playing the under. It's another way of getting a winner over the finish line. 7:15 Eastern, first pitch. San Francisco Giants at the LA Dodgers. Alex Wood, left-handed pitcher for the San Francisco Giants. Julio Urias, left-handed pitcher for the LA Dodgers. Fun series this looked like it was going to be last night. For tomorrow's game, San Francisco are plus 134. The Dodgers are minus 158. Totally is at 8.5. Yeah, good game last night. We talked about it at the top of the show briefly. What were you expecting from this one?
I missed your whole prelude to that. I got disconnected, but Alex Wood, I think he's a good pitcher, and I think he's due to come on in the second half and pitch. He's in a contract year, so he's going to. I think he's going to show up. I really like both of these pitchers. I think this is an under game for sure.
Again, I've gone with the Dodgers here on the run line. I had this written down at plus 140 earlier on. Don't think it's going to be that price. Maybe near a plus 115, plus 120. I just don't think the Giants are going to get as close. I thought they're not lucky to get as close to the Dodgers last night. They needed that Darren Ruff grand slam. This was on the Thursday night game we're talking about. The Darren Ruff grand slam. But even then, I felt like the Dodgers kind of had them at arm's length a little bit.
Yeah. An interesting nugget in this series, too, is I think they've played 7 games so far this year. 4 in LA, 3 in San Francisco. San Francisco won all of their home games, and LA has won all of their home games so far. Last night's game was on national television, and I think is this game Fox's game of the night?
I don't know, and they're all they're all free on MLB still all weekend, so.
Yeah, this one is
you
Fox
can
game of the
find
night.
it.
So you get a primetime Giants versus Dodgers spot. This I take back my under. This is going to be a ton of offense. This is going to be juiced baseballs all day.
I felt really good about Justin Turner. I called Justin Turner out last night. I name checked him
Yeah.
as someone who's going to have a great second half. But then he got a little day-to-day tightness, a little oblique tightness or something like that. So I hope he's okay because he performed really well his first at bat. I think he had RBI double off the wall. So I'm hoping for good things from Turner. But yeah, I think the Dodgers can do this. And again, they can cover the run line tomorrow. 7:20 Eastern first pitch is the LA Angels at the Atlanta Braves. Patrick Sandoval, left-handed pitcher for the LA Angels. And Kyle Wright for the Atlanta Braves, who are 2-1 on, minus 200. The Angels are plus 168, and the total is at 8.5. Sandoval is 3-5, has a dead 3 ERA. Has pitched 81 innings with 87 strikeouts. Kyle Wright is 11-4 with a 2.95 ERA. Pitched 110 innings with 107 strikeouts. I thought Sandoval was on the slide about 6 weeks ago. I was considering him, cutting him loose in a few fantasy teams. I read an article that said his underlying metrics weren't great. And he's recovered really, really well. His last handful of starts, so probably even a couple more, have been really good. He had one bad start at Houston on the 2nd of July. He's got a 3.05 road ERA, which is perfectly serviceable. I think he'll go okay tomorrow. Kyle Wright's been great. 4-0 in his last 5 with a 2.97 ERA, 7-2 at home. No reason not to trust him at all. I'd like to obviously fade the Angels because you can't take them anywhere, but I do think they can keep this one tight. So my bet here was the first 5 under, Noah.
I was thinking first 5 under, but honestly, I like the full game under too. Nice. I like to watch MLB Network, and my favorite guy on there is Mark DeRosa. I think he's very informable. And as a former player, I loved a lot of the stuff that he talks about when it comes to mechanics and pitches and stuff like that. D-Row, he was a former Brave, so I trust him with this information. They are not well against changeups, and specifically, they don't do very well against left-handed pitching changeups because they're a very right-handed team. They normally crush left-handed pitching, but when they have the ball moving across the plate going into the left-hander's batter's box, whether it's a right-handed pitcher slider or a left-handed pitcher changeup, they struggle. And Sandoval has the nastiest changeup in the MLB. I really like first 5 under or full game under.
No, this is why you get paid the big money, you see. Nuggets like that, I absolutely love it.
I need to do that more. I do, but I don't.
Keep it up, man. Love it. Penultimate game is an 8:10 Eastern first pitch between the Washington Nationals and the Arizona Diamondbacks. It's a bum fight. It's Anibal Sanchez for Washington. It's Madison Bumgarner, the lefty, for the D-backs. Washington are plus 116. Arizona are minus 134. Total is set at 9. And I'm going to throw this straight back across to you, Noah.
Yeah, this Saturday night, it's like you watch that 7:00 Fox game of the week between the Giants and the Dodgers. And after that one's off, just turn it off because you got D-backs Nationals and then Rangers A's to finish your night. So it's like
wow,
you got an early hit to the bar or just
it'll help you go to sleep maybe.
Yeah, it might. But yeah, I think we're the Nationals. They're pitiful on the road. The Game 1 series. The D-backs open at minus 160. I'm never laying Arizona minus 160. But I can't back the Nationals. So it's like this one's just if that one opens, where did this Game 2 open? What's the price?
This one?
Yeah, do we have a price on this one?
Yeah, minus Arizona minus 134.
Okay, see that one's more reasonable, and I'd be taking the D-backs. I can't get behind the Nationals here.
Well, absolutely. I saw minus 125 against the D-backs. I know we're talking about the difference between this game and the Dodgers-Giants game, but I tell you what, there's if you've backed a winner, it doesn't matter what quality the game was. I think the Diamondbacks are a great price here. Sanchez, Anibal Sanchez has only just come into the rotation. He's had one start. He gave up 4 earned runs in 5 innings against Atlanta. Bumgarner's been steady Doesn't mean he's been good. He's 4-3 at home. He's got a 191 ERA against the NL East. Arizona aren't horrible at home. We're looking for, if anything not horrible is good enough in this game. The 22 and 26 at home, where Washington's road record is horrible. The Diamondbacks are a great price here. That -125 was an outstanding price. -134, not quite as fancy, but yeah, I'd still take them to win the game. Last game up, it's another beauty, as you just said, Noah. It's the Texas Rangers at the Oakland Athletics, which is a 9:07 Eastern first pitch. Taylor Hearn, left-handed pitcher, goes for the Texas Rangers, and James Caprillion gets the start for Oakland. Texas a -120. Oakland are a home puppy, even money, +100. Total here is set at 7.5. Where'd you go with this, Noah?
Oh, man. This one's tough as well. You have Taylor Hearn on the mound for the Rangers. He's 4-6 this year with a 5.78 ERA, 62 strikeouts, 32 walks, and 67 innings pitched. That's way too many walks in 67 innings. And in 13 starts this year, Hearn only has one quality start. James Caprillion, he's 1-5 on the year. He has a 5.09 ERA, 45 strikeouts, 32 walks, and 69 innings pitched. Again, 32 walks is just a little high for 69 innings pitched. In 14 starts, Cat only has 2 quality starts. I'm taking the overs in this game, whether it's first 5, whether it's full game. Malcolm, how about you?
I quite like Caprillion. He was okay in spells, quite long spells of last season, actually. Did okay. And I think I've written down Oakland first 5 here. If they do win this, it's going to be 1-0 after 5 innings, because both teams are struggling to score runs. Texas did put away runs last night. I watched Oakland last night. They didn't blow my skirt up particularly, but I don't mind Caprillion. I think he can keep Texas in check. It's whether or not Oakland can score a run or not. 7.5 looks slow, but it is a good bet. But I'm going to take Oakland first 5 here. Hopefully they can score a run. And I'm telling you, that's going to be the score after 5 innings. It's going to be Texas 0, Oakland 1. And I will cash that bet. So, lock and dog time to come once I have told you about IP Vanish, the official VPN of the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. If you use incognito mode, you're not actually protecting your privacy. You need the added security of IP Vanish, which will encrypt and make sure your data stays private. Things like your passwords and communications, browsing history, physical location, things like that. You can use IP Vanish on unlimited devices, including your Fire Stick for when you're streaming your media. And IP Vanish are offering 70% off the yearly plan for our listeners with a 30-day money-back guarantee, the equivalent of getting 9 months for free. Dead easy to use. One button and you are covered. Take your privacy back today with the brand rated 4.6 out of 5 on Trustpilot. Go to ipvanish.com/SGP and use that promo code SGP to claim your 70% savings. ipvanish.com/SGP. Okay, lock and dog time, Noah. I feel like we had a lot of dogs on yesterday's pod that are going to go off tonight. Some fancy prices kicking around tonight as well, and I know you fancy a couple of them. So what have you got, buddy?
Well, so as of right now, there are not many games available on WinBet. So go over to thegamblingpodcast.com, click the MLB tab, click on MLB picks. That is where you're going to find all of our picks that we insert on the Tally site. Tally site's a great website engine that, we and a couple of other handicappers from different media sites, we compete against each other. And that's how you see like those stats at the end of the week that we post about on MLB. And, you're listening to Malcolm and I, who frequently are first in those graphics. So again, of the games that are offered on WinBet right now, I don't have a dog that I like. Nothing's jumping off the board at me, and I don't want to steal Malcolm's A's pick. Other than that, I don't have a dog actually. Like The dog, I guess, for the podcast, go look at the graphic because this isn't going to be the one that I use because I actually think there are a few dogs that are available for tomorrow's slate. But for this segment, I think I have to go with the New York Mets -1.5 plus 160. I think that against Blake Snell that they're going to put up quite a few runs, and Chris Bassett should be able to go all right. So I think this one's probably like a 6-4, 6-3 ball game that the Mets win. And for my lock of the day, give me the under 8.5 in Miami-Pittsburgh. I really think that Meyer, he should pitch well. I like the kid. I think he's very promising as a prospect. And Jose Quintana's pitching to be a commodity on the trade deadline this or next week. So I don't think he's going to go out there and ruin his value against a sucky Miami team. And the Pirates, they're over there just chopping up 2-3 runs a game. So it's like I don't see this one getting over 8.5 at all.
That's a really nice lock pick, that under 8.5. Now you've kind of half stolen one of my picks. I've called an audible here. I've just scribbled out Arizona as my lock. Just because I remembered it was Arizona and I've had to give my head a wobble. as much as I like it, it's Arizona. Come on, Malcolm. So I've gone to the Mets.
Great.
Had them written down at -130. I'm seeing 145 now, so maybe that line will land somewhere in the middle. But at that price, we've done all the talking about Blake Snell. It's a fade of Snell. Better team, better pitcher. Let's not overcomplicate this. For my dog, Noah, I thought, why are you moving away from the Baltimore Orioles at +205? They can get to Garrett Cole. They've got to win before. They're playing okay. New York didn't look particularly sharp last night either. I just think, over 2-1 for a team at home playing well, who can get to Cole. Lyles is going okay to home. All the things you mentioned earlier on. So I'll take a little bit of a punt with the Orioles at +205 there. Noah, what do you think of that?
I like the Orioles too. I like that play a lot.
That's why I 100% was convinced you were going to say that. I started looking around for something else. I was nearly had to go to Cincinnati at +130. And then you mentioned Oakland as well. So I did think you were going to.
I just didn't see it on the site. So I didn't. That was one of the games that we got late, and I didn't refresh the site. Yeah. So that's my bad. But you can have the Orioles.
No, that's all right. Yeah, I'll have it. I'll take one for the team now when the Yankees beat them 11.
I like the Mets run line.
Yeah. Okay then. Well, brilliant. We got to the end of that. That was a lot of fun. Just shy of an hour. Perfect timing. Anything else happening the rest of the weekend we need to know about now before we go?
No, just an off day for me tomorrow's podcast for Sunday's slate, but I'll be back Sunday night or maybe Monday morning talking about the Monday's games. Trying to remember if there's anything else that I'd like to say. No, I can't think of anything off the top of my head. Malcolm, how about you?
No, absolutely nothing. Unfortunately, I had to give my police uniform back, so I can't go out. Can't go around the streets of Newcastle tasering people and chasing baddies around.
You guys celebrate Halloween over there?
Not as much as you crazy people do, but yeah, a little bit.
Is it Devil's Night over there or something?
No, never heard of that.
Where is that from? Where's that from? We some people over here like to do Devil's Night as well.
Okay.
I don't know where that came from.
No, so I don't have my police uniform. I'm working tomorrow. I'm actually working at I've got my casino out at an Indian wedding tomorrow, which they're always great affairs, big lavish 5-day thing. So I'll be disappointed if
music too.
Yeah, live music. I want to see elephants parading down the street and all sorts of things. So I'm looking forward to some fun and games doing that tomorrow. And then hopefully baseball was cancelled on Sunday. We had a game against Durham, and that game has been cancelled. So we'll be practice on Sunday, and then back into the studio with you and Dylan and Moonaf on Sunday night. So
are they named the Bulls? They're dropping the ball.
They're not. 100%. They've called themselves the Spartans. Yeah, they should be shot with shit. I mean, it's there. It's right there, isn't it? It's right in their lap.
Yeah, we're both not movie guys, but we still know that.
Come on. 100%. You're absolutely right. So, thanks everyone for listening. We do appreciate it. Good luck with all your bets this weekend. And until we speak to you tomorrow and Sunday night, we will see you down the road. Cheers.